Hi everyone, this is Dinakaran and welcome back to my channel RPA Space. If you're new to the channel, please do share and subscribe the channel for more videos. And let's get into the topic. We already heard about a word RPA, which is robotic process automation, right? So that is a buzzword which is currently in the market where most of the things are turning out towards automation, right? So those who are already into RPA and who are completely expertise into RPA technologies, they don't find any difficulty in finding a use case. But someone who's fresh or they're getting into RPA or those who wish to get into RPA, those people will still find a difficulty to find what are the exact use cases they can practice before getting into ideal business case. So those kind of people will still wonder what kind of use cases they can do, practices they can get expertise on those repetitive tasks before getting into ideal project module. So there are a couple of people we heard about, a lot of YouTube tutorials and other training centers which they do taught all the content, but for practicing the content, they need ideal use case to practice back to back. Only then they'll get comfortable with the technology and the tool, right? So any tool, you had to have a proper use case defined for you. So here I come with a couple of use cases where you can practice. You don't need any application need to install. Of course, all are web related interfaces. So only thing where we have to get comfortable with the logics and how RPA works in terms of Blue Prism, either it can be automation, either UA path, whatever it is, right? So finding a use case and finding a proper automation candidate to automate. So that will help you to understand what the technology speaks about it, what all the tool contains, actions, what are the different use cases the tool can be capable enough to automate. So those kind of scenarios, you will get comfortable with it, right? So here I come a couple of use cases, right? For example, I've taken you 6 use cases for your references, and each and every use cases I had documented it and going to share with you, saying like these are the steps you have to automate it. And each use cases you consider as a separate project and keep practicing it. By end of that, when you practice, you had to have comfortable with all the terms which is coming with each and every tool, because it cannot be same with one tool with other tool, right? For example, in Blue Prism it might be different, but when you go to UiPath, the terminologies might get different, right? So when you practice all this use cases, right, I'm not saying this is the only use case, but if you can practice these all use cases and to get well versed or comfortable with the tool, right? So there is one use case I just documented it and I'm going to share with you. The first one is COVID-19 data extraction from New York Times, and followed by that COVID-19 data extraction from Google, more or less similar, but only the website difference is there. And then followed by that, there is a fake name generator where it will generate the name based on your country and the region which you select. And then the next one is like fake card generator, which is nothing but a credit card generator. And followed by that, we have a currency converter which will bring you the current market rate for each and every currencies around the world. And at last, you have a stock values based on your company code. You will be having a website where you can go there and scrap the data for it and just generate a report out of it. So this is a high level, like these are the 6 use cases which we are going to see, and how that can get implemented. So I've just documented as a use case, so you can use this as a reference and you can practice with any of the tools. So there is no tool restriction over here. You can use any tool for your comfort zone, and then keep practicing these use cases. So at the end of that 6 use case, right, so you might have a confidence that you have worked in 6 projects or 6 processes, so that at least the repetitive of the process will help you to understand the tool more confident, right? So let's get into that use case, right? First, so as I say, the first use case one is like COVID-19 data extraction. So I have a URL which is helping you to launch the web page, which is this URL. Of course, I'll give the same in the descriptions as well. And once you open the URL, you will be able to land into this page, which is the New York Times. And under that, once you landed over there, so you will be having 3 tabs. One is cases, deaths, and search for the countries. So I'll choose cases. So once you choose a cases, you will be able to have the list of countries available and the total number of cases. The table will be get displayed over there, right? So just extract the table, and once you complete extracting this table, go to the next tab, which is nothing but dates in the immediate tab. So go there and extract that data as well, and just create an Excel report. Just a simple use case, which is nothing but opening a browser, going to particular tab, extracting a data, and just finalizing it as a complete output in the form of a Excel. Just a kind of a real-time data extraction from your web page, which is you can relate more with this use case, right? Because there's a current lot of things are happening with COVID-19. So your bot is capable enough to pull out all the data from web page and it can able to generate a report. It looks exciting and it will be exciting if you practice it, right? So let's get this web page, let's get this use case COVID-19 data extractions in New York Time. I'll show you in web page how that looks, right? So when you launch or when you open the URL, the web page might look like this, and you can be able to see that data which is getting spotted over here. And if you scroll down, there will be first tab called cases. I asked you to click on cases. Once you click on cases, the data will get loaded here. Just click on show all, so that like all data will get loaded in the same page, right? So you can extract the whole table and just generate it as an Excel, store it as an Excel. So it does contain total cases per thousand and case in last 7 days. So it does contain a lot of data. We don't care about data, of course, but only the extraction is our major job. Then after completing that, you have to click on deaths and you have to extract the same, so that it will have a lot of casualty data which is getting captured. So that excites as a first use case for you to just complete it, so that like you will get a confidence how the process built, how object have to be built in terms of I'm speaking in terms of UI path. You can say how sequence of flowchart and what are the purpose of queue and how can you use Excel scope, Excel generation. So all these things, right? So you can use this use case to make yourself comfortable with creating your first own process if you are completely fresh or new to the RPA, or if someone is looking for a use case for yourself to practice where you don't need any business application to access for practicing the use case, right? So that's the first use case. And the second use case is nothing but data extraction is Google in Google. So it's more or less similar to the New York Times what we've discussed, but only thing the web page is different, and it does also carries the data from Google for last 14 days or total number of cases, whatever you have. Once you launch this web page, you will be able to see the web page is getting loaded, and if you scroll down, you will be able to see total number of cases in the worldwide and country wise. There is a table which is there. So your bot should be able to open this web page, and you have to select here for last 14 days. Once you select last 14 days, it should be scroll down and pull out all the data from this web page and just create it as an Excel. So that's one kind of a use case. Second set of a use case. And here, of course, you don't have the casualties, deaths, and other things as a separate tab, because you have all these things in the same table. So that's where this Google web page and New York Times web page is quite different, bit different, right? So these are the two use case which you can relate it to current scenario, whatever happening in the market, so that your bot is able to pull out something related to your recent scenario. That's one kind of a use case, right? So the next use case, as I spoke about earlier, it's a fake name generator, right? So once you open this URL, I'll ping the URL, or I'll put the URL in the description, right? So there's a fake name generator as a website. Once you open the website, right? So the whole details is described in the document here. Launch the browser and open the fake name generator. Once you launch the fake name generator, just click on name generator. That tab you have to click. So you have to click on the name generator. Once you click name generator, then click on generate. So each time when you click generate, the whole page will get refreshed. By random, it keep on creating a new name. So you can just click again. So you'll be able to see that name is getting refreshed and the details is getting different. It's just a kind of randomly generating some names. And you can put yourself as a condition, like I want to extract 15 names and store it as the form of an Excel report. That can be your use case, right? So open this browser, click on name generator, and then click every time when you click generator, the name will get refreshed and you will get a different name. So create a report or create a data table based out of it and then store it. That could be your next use case, where you can do just a simple screen scraping with your web application, right? So next use case, I could say, like, you can practice fake name generator. Next to that, there is a fake card generator. So there is website for that as well. I'll give that link also in the description. So if you click that as a credit card generator, right? So you can be able to see the web page which is getting loaded. And if you scroll down, right, So when you keep scrolling down, yeah, so this is this one, and for repeat the same for 20 customers, which is for the previous use case. And when you go for fake card generated, this is the URL, and once you land on this page, you have to choose which type of card you want. You can select it from the drop down and which country card you want. So you can choose any country, whatever country you feel comfortable with it, and then click on generate. As soon as you click generate, you will be able to see the details which is getting populated or which is getting loaded into your right of your screen. Let's see that. So I see like I want something related to let's go for India and visa type. So you can see the loading is it's getting loaded, right? So once it reaches 100, you will see like the card is getting generated randomly. You will have expiry date, you will have CVV number, country, and address, and then the card number. So by that you can get a lot of details. You can extract all these details, just frame it as a table, and then go click generate again, so that if as soon as you click generate again, it will again load it and it will give you a fresh data for that as well. So by that way you can have a whole lot of content or huge data. You can create it and just summarize it as a report, right? So that also is possible, right? The same thing you can repeat for a bulk customers. For example, I just showed you how to generate a single card, right? If you choose it here and if you choose how many cards you want to do, for example, American Express is a card and format is JSON. So I want to format as a CSV. If you click CSV and click generate, you will be able to get a Excel or CSV which is containing 20 card details. So that's also there. You can try out all these things as a use case. You can take this as a proper business process and just give a try, so that like you'll have a lot of things to explore with the automation candidate, right? So the next use case on that is like currency converter. So you might have heard about it, but still I would ask you to go for this website, which is xrates.com. Of course, I'll pin the URL in the descriptions. And once you land this page, right? So as I documented in the past, so you had to open this URL. Once you open the URL, entire amount to convert, so which is nothing but the first column. You had to enter something. For example, in this case, I've just used one US dollar is equal to European. What is the European value? And then if you click in the currency calculator, so you'll be able to get the values in the form of whatever be the current exchange rate in the market, right? So that value you will be able to get it, right? So let's see how that's getting work. So I'll put like one and like go let it be the US dollar, but here I'll choose it like Indian rupee so that I can relate it more better, right? So click on currency calculator. So once you click on currency calculator, you'll be seeing that exchange rate for US dollar to Indian rupee currently it is 73.37. So that like by the same way you can repeat it for all customers. What is the euro for Indian rupee? What is the Australian dollar for Indian rupee? So you can explore all the currency values from the drop down table and compare it with Indian rupee and just generate it as a Excel. That will give you like current like live rate for all the equivalent uh, dollar value or all the equivalent currency value against Indian rupee, so that you will have the complete data which is according to the current date. Like you can put a date and say like on 14th of October, this is the currency value across the world for against Indian rupee, and 15th of October it can be. So you can generate Excel which for 10 days or 5 days, so that like your bot is capable enough to explore all the scenarios on this, right? So that's one kind of a use case, right? So then the next one is the stock value, right? Stock value, of course, most of the people know what is the stock market and the other values. So here, right? So when you open money.rediff.com, if you know other websites to explore the stock market rates and other stuff, it's well and good. It's not that this is the only website where I'm recommending it, so there is no such kind of thing here. So you can go to the website URL once you land it here, right? So you can type your uh, URL for company code if you know the company code. So for example, I'll type something here says like TCS, right? So I can choose here. As soon as you choose the company code as TCS, you can ask your bot to extract this value, which is a company name, and followed by the stock rate, this one, right? So you can extract this, or you can extract the volume or whatever be, right? So next you can just go there and type INFY and then click enter. If you find like Infosys Limited, do the same thing. And if you go and again you can type like for example INFI, and it says like Infinite Computer Solution. So you have a lot of company codes in the market, right? So if you don't have the company code, of course I'll give the same in there descriptions, or I'll paste that company code. There are quite a few samples I have. For example, WAD, Wipro, Infosys, DXC, CSS, IT, HP, USD, USS. So there's a company code. If you paste it, you will be able to get. Uh, let's assume bot is getting this other company code from the business user, and from this website, bot should be able to recognize the URL, recognize the company name, and then it should extract some sort of a rates or some sort of value from the website, right? So those kind of use cases, and at the end, it should be able to generate input which is having company code. Next column result as like a company name, and followed by that this is stock value, BSC, NBC, whatever it is, whatever be the value. So these kind of use cases, right? If you keep on practicing on those kind of use cases, of course you will get comfortable with the tool, with the terminologies, whatever be there at the end of that, right? So you will be getting confident, right? These are the six or seven process you might be able to develop, and you will get a confident on that zone. Either it can be UA part location automation anywhere, or a lot more other tool in the market. So there is no restrictions on that, as I said earlier. So that's it all about the use case which I just want to try to convey you. You can keep practicing those use cases, and try to explore each and every content in this tool, so that like it will be easy for you to get more comfortable into that tool. So upcoming sessions I'll try to take each use cases and try to develop from each tool, so that you will have the hands-on demo, hands-on tutorials in the following sessions as well. So until then, see you for the next sessions, and thanks for your time. Thank you, have a nice day, and don't forget, please share and subscribe the channel.